What's going on, guys? This is AndrewChicken and welcome back to some more Paladins, and boy is it good to be back. My last video was about 2 months ago. I haven't really been uploading lately since there's been finals, as well as people coming down, my family to visit me, and as well as some other things like Memorial Day, so I haven't really had time to upload recently, but yeah, I'm back. And if you noticed on my Facebook yesterday, I mentioned that I would be adding a bunch of new content to my channel. I don't think I mentioned the game specifically, but I am going to be playing new things such as Terra Tech, PayDay 2, and Path of Exile, things like that. So lots of stuff to look forward to in the future. And also, this is not just a normal video, because if you notice by the title, I am actually having my hand at a top 5 video. So today, we are going to be looking at my top 5 favorite Paladins champions. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, be sure to subscribe. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get straight on with the video. Floating her way into number 5, we have Ying. Ying is one of the best support champions in the game right now, and has a very unique healing style. She can summon illusions of herself through her magical mirror that heal allies by blasting them with healing beams from their own mirrors. This healing can rack up fast with several of these illusions, alongside a legendary card that allows her healers to heal 2 allies at once, which is great for keeping the team alive. Also, Ying can make her illusions turn into heat-seeking missiles, to an extent, of course. With the press of a button, she can make them target the nearest enemy and explode, dealing 500 damage to anybody nearby. Ying's base damage, her mirror, also does a decent amount of damage and can be extremely dangerous when combined with her explosive illusions. Ying's ultimate ability can also completely change the outcome of battle, which summons a healing orb on all of her allies that heals them rapidly for a few seconds, which can help immensely in an intense situation. Overall, this makes Ying one of my favorite champions to play. At the number 4 spot, we have Shaolin, who may come as a surprise on this list, because he is not too popular in the meta right now. However, I find him extremely fun to play. He is a sturdier sniper than Kinessa, as he can hold his own a lot better in a 1v1 fight with a flanker with his Impaler Arrow and Planted combo, which allows him to stun his enemies, and while they are stunned, burst them down with rapid fire arrows. His arrows, although weaker than the Sniper Blast from Kinessa, which can deal almost 1800 damage at times, still deal a solid 1000 damage with a full charge, meaning he can almost two-shot quite a few characters in the game, such as Skye, Victor, or Maldamba. Shaolin can also jump backwards and turn invisible, which can help him escape a flank or a group of enemies that are about to kill him. His ulti also grants him this invisibility for a much longer duration of time, and allows him to do so without revealing his location when he shoots, but instead summoning an illusion of himself to trick the enemy, which can be quite fun. Although he can snipe, he's also a good mid-range damage trick, and when placed in the right hands, such as my own, they can be very, very lethal indeed. I find him to be a very fun character to play, especially with all these different abilities. Leaping into the number 3 spot, we have Buff. There's not much not to like about Buff. He can leap extremely high and far into the air and land on his enemies with a surprise attack, and then blast them to death with his shotgun, which is hard to miss with. His legendary card can give him a second heroic leap, which he can use to hop around like a bunny around his enemies, and that makes him quite hard to hit, and also gives him the advantage of being able to flee from a group of enemies or a deadly combat zone, or enter one and then jump out after killing everybody. Buck is also the tankiest of the flanks with 2800 health, giving him more health than most enemies he will have to face, aside from, of course, the Grover, and allowing him to hold his own pretty well in an intense duel. He can also heal himself in a tough battle, which allows him to stay in the fight longer and take the enemy down. His net also aids with his victims not being able to flee as effectively, meaning he can pin them down with his shotgun at ease. His ulti is also pretty good, resetting all of his abilities and reloading his gun before giving him double damage for a few seconds, which allows him to blast through the backlines of an enemy in a matter of seconds. Overall, I find him to be very fun and can rack up several kills with him, and I'm surprised he's actually not very popular in the current meta. Number 2, Torvald. Torvald is probably not the one you would expect to see on this list. He is essentially a giant target with cool maneuverability and a short-range laser. However, I find him quite enjoyable to play. One of the main perks of Torvald is his massive amount of health, which is twice that of the average tank at over 8,000 health when his shield is fully charged. He can also manually recharge his shield in the midst of an intense combat zone or on the sidelines to heal up before entering a massive fight, and he can also drain the health from other shields to speed up his recharging process if he is nearby and focuses on the shield. His gauntlet attack, which may seem pretty pathetic in its description of a short-range laser that does a measly 50 damage every tenth of a second, was actually rather effective in a battle against the sole target. His 50 ammunition can allow him to continue attacking most enemies while they are forced to reload, and the constant drain of their health can put constant pressure on them to try to escape. Torvald can also render his enemy completely defenseless with his runic lash that disarms and silences his opponent for a brief time, so they can't call out for help or shoot back at him, which can help him score additional damage on them without the enemy really being able to do anything about it. And, if that's not enough, Torvald's ultimate ability is overpowered when used properly. He can shoot out a giant beam that pushes all enemies back in his path at an incredible speed, and when blasting a group of enemies toward an edge and then pushing them off without them having any way to counter his ulti, can easily get Torvald a triple kill. Torvald is hands down my favorite frontline and one of my favorite champions. Blasting his way into first place on my list is His Majesty, Bomb King. If you couldn't tell by the fact that I got him up to level 17 and he is my only diamond ranked champion, I play Bomb King a lot of the time. He is a great champion with a variety of different abilities that can destroy and harass the enemy. His main attack is one of the more devastating in Paladins. He can throw sticky bombs that can stack onto an enemy that deal 900 damage each. Just 2 sticky bombs can nearly destroy most damages, supports, and flanks, and they can damage others nearby when they detonate. He also has the ability to stun his opponent with his giant grumpy bomb. This bomb can be thrown into a group of enemies, and when it explodes, it deals a decent amount of damage and stuns all enemies within the area, allowing Bomb King to easily latch a few bombs onto the stationary enemies and blow them to pieces. His Poppy Bomb is, however, his most important asset, because it can be used for a massive variety of situations. Its most common purpose is a getaway method. It can be placed in front of him and detonated to send him flying back, and is even more effective when combined with the legendary card that does additional pushback to His Majesty. It can also be used as an offensive tool. It can be thrown into a group of enemies on the capture point, for example, and detonated to send everybody near it flying backwards, which can definitely help in overtime or other circumstances. It can also be used near an enemy near the edge to send them turtling off when detonated. It can also be used to send Bomb King into a combat situation, which can give him airtime and a greater range to throw his grumpy bomb or throw sticky bombs at people he otherwise would not be able to hit. Finally, it can be used to fly into a combat situation, activate his ultimate in midair, and devastate the enemy from the sky. His ultimate itself is overpowered. Bomb King becomes a bomb and rolls around to attack the nearest enemy. Its explosion has a massive radius, and it stuns all enemies within that radius, which allows him to stick bombs onto whoever survives. Its massive damage output is 2,500, almost as much as Sky's bomb. He is undoubtedly one of the more versatile champions, and that is why he is one of my favorite characters to play. I hope you guys enjoyed my top 5 favorite Paladins champions, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe, and let me know what your top 5 favorite Paladins champions are in the comment section below. I'd like to hear from you guys on that, and also let me know whether you'd like to see me play the different games I mentioned at the beginning. I'll mention them again: Terra Tech, PayDay, and Path of Exile. Be sure to let me know if you want me to play those. I'm definitely going to upload them at least once, but yeah, we'll see how that turns out. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.